Hello and welcome to the Witch's Realm. I'm Andrea Franco, intuitive business mentor.
And I'm Amanda Root, mindset and manifestation mentor. We created this podcast as a safe space for women to connect and come out of the witch's closet and own their magic.
We discuss everything from business, pleasure, spell work, sex, wealth, and how to live a magically abundant as fuck life.
Yeah, get ready to tune in and get turned on. Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Witch's Realm.
Welcome back to the Witch's Realm.
Oh, I always forget there's a camera there. You know, we probably have never talked about the fact that we have a fucking YouTube channel.
What do you mean, like on the podcast?
Yeah, have we even mentioned it?
I don't think we have. You guys, we have a YouTube channel.
Or if you want to see how idiotic that we
have
look while
we mentioned
saying,
it?
I don't even think we have. We at the end don't even say subscribe to our YouTube. When have we ever said that?
We have to start saying that.
We have to say that at the end.
I love that we just discovered this
What
spontaneously on the
dipshits.
podcast. We have a YouTube, you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like I turn and look at the camera all the time.
I feel like I don't.
Okay.
I feel like I'm working on it. I don't know.
No, I love it. We have a YouTube, and so if you guys want to see what my face looks like every time Andrea makes some crazy statement,
foul comment, you get to see. Or be like, yo, this bitch just say that.
No, I mean, I think the YouTube is great. I've watched it a couple of times. Like, I wanted to see if you could see the cat that came last week. And he didn't make it. I mean, you never know. You can see behind us.
Yeah.
Like, to a certain point, but the cat was super close.
You know, I'm thinking of behind us. I just remember that I have more patio furniture over there that I'm going to trash or sell or give away.
Yeah, or just bring it for the party.
Or bring it for the party.
Yeah.
Countdown. Okay.
So yeah, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the podcast, The Witch's Realm.
Yeah.
So we got a question emailed. Last week we did the Q&A. And so this week we're talking to answer that question about death rituals. I mentioned the Tesmacol ritual on the last episode, or like 2 episodes ago. And we got a follow-up question about what that ritual is.
Yeah, go
And I know that you have done other death rituals as well.
I think I just want to talk about death in general too. Like ego death, all the things death. We'll just talk about death today.
Yes. And it's so on trend because we also discovered a dead animal in your backyard today.
Yo, that was a red
tailed hawk.
Yes.
Red-tailed hawk.
I felt like the universe gave it to me.
Yeah. And do you remember when we went to that goddess circle and the hawks were flying over us? That's what I was thinking of today when we discovered that red-tailed hawk. Okay. So the Tesmacol ritual that I did in Mexico is like a sweat lodge.
Wild.
So it's like a hut and it looks like a belly button, like a pregnant.
Is it dark in there?
It's pretty dark.
Yeah.
There's a hole in the top, so the light is coming in the top. And then the shaman, she had 4 candles lit inside on each corner. So there was a tiny bit of light, but yeah, it was super hot. It was like 120 degrees, and you're in there for like an hour.
Yeah, that's trying.
It's intense.
I feel like I know some people who like actually couldn't stay and walked out. But that's very shunned upon or whatever.
No, they actually said like, they were like, if you are, if you're feeling dizzy, you can take a break. She asked us 4 times if we needed a break. There were 4 of us in there. And honestly, like, I think that's kind of the part of the ritual, right? Because the whole idea is that like you go into this womb and it's shaped like a pregnant like belly with like a belly button. That's what they say. It's like the womb of the world. That's what they believe in this ritual. And so you go in there to be like reborn. And so you have to like surrender to the heat and just let it take you. I mean, you're sweating. She was like pouring these really cool
I think it's so interesting
herbs.
too. It's like you're actually meant to feel like you're like dying. You know, feel like you're dying.
Feeling like you're dying. Yeah. I mean, isn't that what ayahuasca is? I've never done that.
I've never done that either.
Yeah.
I felt like when I was on mushrooms one time, I tripped balls and I actually felt like I was dying 110%. I remember calling my friend and being like, can I die? Because like I actually like felt like I was dying 110%.
So in Mexico, when I did the Tesmacol, the way that I felt like I died was different. I felt like, so she brought us through like elemental things. And then she was like, okay, I want you to imagine that you are leaving your body, which I've done in meditations before and always, but in this case, it felt like super powerful. And she was like, we're, going to leave your body and leave whatever's not serving you, and kind of like be reborn into something new and like look down. Well, it was kind of like we were flying.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like I was able to have so many downloads, so much information.
Do you feel like you died?
I don't know what it's like to die. Yeah, death is such an interesting thing. I feel like I'm glad that we're talking about this because I feel like I'm really interested in death right now. I'm very interested in
the weird thing
what
is
it means.
Like when I lost my aunt Sue, I really tapped into death a little bit more because it had never hit so close to home for me.
Yeah. I've had a lot of loss this year too. I think that's why I'm so into it.
What it would feel like to die. And it like first you get like, at least me, I got really like anxious and it was like, oh my God, like what happens? Where do you go? Right. And you like start panicking. I think it's like to become relaxed with death and know that everyone will die, and like almost getting in my body where it's like, I'm going to die. And like the sooner you become okay with that, the more you allow yourself to live.
I don't know. There were parts of me that I wanted to die, like going into that ritual. Like I was really ready. So let's talk about
a little bit of ego death because I feel like that's
what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So trust is like a really big thing for me. Like trusting people, I really struggle with. I think that I literally trust nobody. So,
rude.
No, I mean, I really, really, it's a big thing. And it was coming in the Tesmacol ritual. It came up for me, like also that I hold back like information, like exactly. What the fuck was that noise?
I don't know. There's spirits all over up in this place.
This house is amazing.
Yeah, it's haunted as fuck.
I feel like I just lost my train of thought. The Tesmacol ritual. What were you saying? You were asking.
I was talking about ego death, and then you said you struggled with trusting people.
Yeah, and I feel like I also like that came through, and I feel like you have to listen to like the parts of you that you're ready to let go of, like, and not be afraid to let go of them and change. Like there was so much of me that I wanted to go in, to stay in that hut and not come back out. Like I was ready to, shed some of that grief, and also I wanted to feel lighter and feel like I am kind of letting people in and letting people see me.
I think, it's funny to talk about even like any of that because for me I feel like the ego, what they call the ego, right? A lot of people talk about ego death, but it's like, what is that? It was put here to protect us, right? So like you not trusting other people or whatever it may be, it's because that part of us is real and it's never gonna like, you're never gonna have like absolutely no ego because there will always be a little small part of you that's going to want to protect you. It's how you dance with that. But I do feel like even the retreat that we went to, it was like a lot more ego death for me. And it's like the ego is the part of you that I feel invites you to play small. Like, oh, don't do that. Don't make that investment.
Don't say that.
Yeah, or be jealous of her. Do this, do that. Like, it's like...
Make yourself small.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like both like death rituals and whatever. But I feel like I've died twice in the last 30 days.
I die during anger release. I feel like a part of me dies when I do anger release.
Maybe that's what I'm feeling.
Because I've very, 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 since I was a little girl, I feel like when traumatic experience happen, like, I will then put a wall up and then there'll be a lot of anger, and
Same.
So easily triggerable. And you like my words? Is that what you're thinking in your head?
Yeah.
She made up another fucking word.
Yeah.
And so I love when I like do massive anger release and like convulse because I feel like those broken parts of myself that like attached into my body actually like are dying off. And I have allowed myself to release that trauma, release that emotion, release that thing or that person or that place or that moment that really was living in my body rent free.
I think like I'm seeing death as like a release and like a being empty, like some not empty in a negative way, but almost like I totally feel what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I think you're absolutely right. Like, maybe that's what I'm feeling like after doing the anger release.
No,
like
that's what
I
I
feel
felt.
very empty. I feel like I have no anger
No, I felt
inside of me.
I don't. Yeah, I think the word isn't empty. I think it's like you make
Clear.
space.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like I feel like I have more space for the calmness and the groundedness and the clarity and the wholeness and peace, you know, rather than, you know, I don't think I like emptied. I think those spots were just filled more with.
Yeah. Well, the
good
ego
shit.
like used to tell me like a big thing for me is like I don't care. I'm literally wearing my unfazed sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That is like my brand.
I
This is
remember when
my
we talked
fucking
about that at the
clothing
retreat,
brand. I am unfazed. Like I do not. And I said to you like
We try to convince people we don't
I
care,
say
and
I
actually
don't
we
care.
care so much.
I don't care. I don't
Yeah.
care. I don't
But you
care.
do.
I care about a lot of things.
Yeah,
That's
so do I.
really the bottom line. Like I actually have a heart. I know that's like
Yep.
really shocking to a lot of people, but I have feelings. Yeah.
No, I know. I think that you and I are similar in that, right? Where, you know, a lot of people see like badass bitch or getting shit done and blah, blah, blah. But like the truth is, one, I'm a Cancer rising, Cancer moon. And two, like I have a heart of gold and I care a lot and I give a lot of fucks. And I'm actually a really sensitive person. And I think that was hard for me to admit. So I would act like I didn't give a fuck and always act like the tough bitch in the room.
Right.
When secretly I was, you know, definitely like very affected when like friendships didn't work out or a breakup or this or that. Like
Yeah.
I would go through my own ego death and death of this human in my life in the form that I once knew them. But I do think it was really hard. And like I was very emotional about those things. And obviously like since learning nervous system regulation and emotional intelligence, all that, like these things have become easier. But I still feel like I care a lot and I've stopped acting like I don't. So that is a big thing that the ego will do.
Yeah. I just realized that there's like so much of me that like from this woman saying to me so we did this ritual. It was me, my husband, and our two friends. And I mean, I can really only speak for myself because like the experience is very inward. Like you're not talking, you're literally meditating, and the shaman is performing this ritual. So she was singing, she was chanting. There were these eucalyptus and mint leaves that were being steamed in the middle, and then she was like pouring this water on us. Yeah, she put honey in our mouths. Like it was really cool. And honestly, like you're sweating out the health benefits. Like you're sweating out the toxins.
I want to do that.
You know, it was amazing. Like I felt so good. And then we went and got a massage, and like, you know, I think that you're right. It made space for like pleasure and relaxation and reflection. And by her, like, I don't know, opening, I felt like she kind of opened a portal for me and let me see myself from like way up high. That's how I felt. I felt like I was seeing myself from another lens way up high. And I was like, oh shit, like why are you doing it like that? Like, what if this?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really trippy.
No, I feel that way when I do. I mean, there are like death meditations you actually can do too, where it's like you actually like go through the death process, which is also just like very deep / trippy / like holy shit. And I think it invites our soul to really look at like what matters. And I feel like that's why this year truly I've been looking at like what really matters to me.
Yeah.
And like
for sure.
the ego will make us
think
value
other
things value things that I think that aren't that important, right? Like status or whatever. Like maybe you're doing an offer or doing a certain thing because so-and-so, or working at a job that you don't feel is lighting you up because that's where the safety is. Like ego doesn't like to
change.
Ego likes comfortability.
Yeah.
Ego likes to play it safe. And I think that when soul really kicks in, I had to die probably a million times in a million ego deaths of who I was, I think, like formed to be, because I think that we all come on earth very gentle and innocent, and then our parents and our family and society then tells us who we should be. And some of us just can't fight that battle. So we say, okay, like today I went into the tanning salon, and this girl that I knew was in nursing school, I had a feeling she wasn't. I don't think she wants to do anything in that field whatsoever. It reminded me when I went to EMT school because I wanted to make my mom happy.
Do you remember me telling you that you weren't going to be an EMT?
I know. I hated it. I hated needles, puke, piss, all of it. I don't know how I even stood that as long as I did, but like it was the ego. Like I would just push through of like, this is what you're meant to do. Like this is what your mom does. You know, you want to help people, you'll work it out. And I was fucking miserable. And I looked at this girl and I was thinking to myself, she's fucking miserable. And so I said to her, well, what are you doing now? And she said radiology or whatever. And I was like, why don't you start thinking about outside the box a little? You don't have to do what your parents or society told you to do. And she looked at me and she was like, Andrea, because she knows who I am. And I was like, I'm just saying, like, you can make money doing anything. You know, why don't you do something? Like I said, if you don't want to go balls to the wall, maybe go a little bit balls. You know, like I said to her, you could fucking start a cleaning business. You could sell shit on Amazon. I was like, I got paid to be a fucking food blogger. Like, think outside the box.
Yeah.
But some people don't want to do that. They don't want to take that risk because it's scary, or they don't feel they can do it.
Yeah. So, well, the ego tells us like
that we can't.
That you can't. And people think it's so funny because like I love this conversation because a lot of people think that the ego is actually like something that's pumping you up.
No.
And it's not. Like for some, if you're a narcissist, yeah. But like most people get really fixated on their insecurities. So like the ego feeds your insecurity. It feeds into your fears. It knows you better than you know yourself because it's so deep that you don't even fully understand it. Like it's operating.
It's a part of you that has been fucking created.
Yeah.
From comfortability and scarcity.
Yeah.
So it is you.
But you're right. And like society. So for instance, you know, if you look at, well, one of the things that I also feel like died for me in the past 30 days during one of my deaths was like, I don't feel like as angry with all of the male species as I did. I'm not kidding.
I love that.
I'm not kidding. I went into this like, so the retreat obviously is about feminine leadership, right? And like I am a woman in a position in business where I have like direct reports, a lot of men that work directly for me. And so I always like was really frustrated. I've always just felt like men like want to like fuck us up. I don't know. I felt like really pissed at them. Like that, you know, it's not fair. There's so much that's just not fair about being a woman.
I think that sometimes too, where we get in like men get paid more, men have it easier, men this, men that. That's what like society wants us to feel.
Yes.
You know, like, and I feel like the truth is that a good man is the greatest asset to your life.
Right. And so like society
like all
told
weekend
me,
long,
like
my boyfriend
men are fucking, I mean, not that I know for a fact that there are amazing men out there. Cause like my husband is legit incredible. But
we have saints in our life.
I feel like I just was like, I don't know, kind of like I could do without them, and I don't feel that way anymore. Like, I'm appreciating them.
That's a weird fucking vision I'm having. You were like, I could never lose my children, but like if men, you know, weren't on earth, like we don't really need men. And I was like, we need men.
Right.
We need men.
I think I was bordering on like, let's just like ship them off to an island or something.
Yeah, you would be like, you know, yeah.
They just complicate things so much. But
well, I think you work with so many men that's why you feel that way.
I work
sometimes.
with a lot
like,
of women too, but the men are just like, yeah, they are so different from us. Biologically, we are so different.
But yeah, they have a logical mind, so we feel and think. They think and think
and act.
Yeah,
like
they're very like they're just logical. And I think the more that a woman can understand that their brain is completely different, that we can let ourselves feel and express through logic so they can understand us and we can understand them.
But I was like feeling like, okay, in order to be successful, like I have to be masculine because that's what successful is in the business world, in contracting, in heating and air conditioning. Like that's
like so the men have balls, they get shit done, blah, blah, blah.
Literally you've heard me say,
I know.
I'm not even going to say, I used to say,
I have bigger balls
I
than
have
you.
a bigger dick. I have literally
bigger
looked a
than you.
man in the face and said, I have a bigger dick
know.
than you. I've said it before. I'll never say it again. And that's wild. Like for me to change that up is crazy. But I really feel like this whole,
I feel like these are other topics that we like need to go into. Like we started off with death, and now it's like
but I let that part of me die. Like
the male species.
I'm loving like
no, but we could talk about the transformation and
the
to
masculine.
love like healing. We should do an episode, the next episode, on like healing the masculine and what has shifted for you and your beliefs around the masculine and like where you were and where you are now.
Yeah.
That's a fucking episode.
It's
Jot
crazy.
that down. I'm jotting that down.
It's crazy. Jot it down.
Because I feel like I was the worst. I will admit, like you were pretty rough around the edges, but I've like fought men. Like,
girl,
okay, like I was mad.
you and
at
I
men.
were about to take that man down outside the elevator.
Oh my god.
Okay, this man, we were in the city at the retreat.
Yeah.
We were
you got to learn that I'm a good person to have on your side.
Yes.
If
we
you
were
know,
prepared.
You know that show? What's that show? What Would You Do? If I was on that, they would see like I got guts. No,
We were ready to take that guy down. We were in
I
the
thought he was
city
gonna kill us.
and we were waiting for an elevator, and this dude literally like came up to us and was like,
He was outside on the sidewalk.
Yeah,
and
he
then
followed
followed
us
us
in.
in the hotel, and then followed us in. Like tried to go near the elevator.
tried to get in the elevator with us and did not have a key card. So we stepped out of the elevator and he was unable to do anything because, I mean, it was just wild. But anyway, this guy, Andrea, was ready. We were both ready to take
What
him
did
down.
I say to him? I said something, and he.
We don't work here.
I don't know. I said something in Spanish too. Remember? Because he didn't
Yeah.
speak English, and I said, basically, like he was asking for, and I was like, "It's not here. Like, go away." I don't know. I said something in Spanish like that. I remember being like,
What were you just looking up?
I was texting the reminder of what we're going to talk about next
Oh,
week.
for next week, yeah. That's my like ADD. But yeah, I feel like, you know, the masculine part of me was so hyper developed of like, you know, just push through it, just hustle. And for the first time, I'm just like not hustling.
Oh my god!
Like we were going to do 2 podcast episodes
No, and I
tonight
said
and
no.
now we're going to eat lamb chops. Like
Yeah.
I fucking love that journey for us.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say I've been in like the least amount of hustle than ever in my life. I think that like I actually almost forgot this. I started the year off with COVID, like January fucking 4th or something. And I had already been in a portal of like not hustling
Not
for
this
a long
year.
Yes, I did. This year I started off with COVID. A couple days in. Yes, bitch, remember I got COVID?
Yeah, that was when Megan died.
Yeah.
Yep. I think I got COVID too, but I was just ignoring it because COVID's so fucking stupid.
And it like put me on
I
my
don't
ass.
believe in it.
And I feel like I've done like nothing this year. Like I've just like been so
That's not true. You've
in
done
no, I mean,
so much
obviously
this
I've done a
year.
whole shit, but I'm saying like it's all been really in my feminine. Like
Yeah.
all the money that I've earned this year, I felt like I've spent such feminine money.
Yeah.
Like pleasure, play. Like I was telling her, and I'm not gonna go into it right now, but like I literally like I haven't gone live this year. Like I've done so many things that I don't teach, you know. But obviously I've amassed an empire now, so things like shift as you grow. But I told her how much I've made this month already, like basically not working, and she was like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "I know, like you know, imagine if I actually." Tried. Like I haven't even been really trying to make money. I'm just like really, and I know this might like trigger a couple people, but like I don't have to try to make money because my belief is that money comes to me easily and I don't have to work like a dog to get money, and I can make money from my feminine.
Yep.
And there's a nice balance with that. But I think that a lot of my ego had to die for that one.
Yeah.
A lot of my ego. Because my ego was always like, you have to do this. You have to do this. This is how you make money. And then when I started feeling in and being, you know, a woman in my feminine, I realized that like, we just can break so many societal norms and what we're taught by our parents. Because, you know, I come from like 2 different sides. Like my father's side and my mother's side are like worker bees. Like everyone believes they have to work so hard, work so hard, work so hard, work so hard. And that's how money is made. And I've just completely rewritten that. Like I work 3 fucking days a week. And I'm not saying that I don't have a good work ethic or that I don't believe that sometimes we don't need to work hard, because putting this new company together, Meant for Magic, is like there's a little bit of hard work. You know, you got to do the contract, this, that, you know, but you don't have to do it from like hustle bro place. I let that part of my ego die where it's like I got to go 12-hour days. Like I've been this
Right.
company
You don't
has
have to
taken
prove anything to anyone.
even our podcast took a while to launch because we were like in
Took
flow.
fucking forever.
But we were in flow with it. We
yeah.
didn't try to like hustle our way into launching it. And like we've made this a really easy, fun experience where we don't feel like we're like forcing things.
Yeah.
And that was really important to me that I lived my entire life like that.
Yeah. I feel the same way. I think I'm like moving into a period in my life where I'm really intentionally making space for the things that are important to me, looking at what those things are and trying to do more of what makes me feel like really, really fucking good. That's all I want to do is feel good. Like I want to eat good food. I want to have good sex. I want to have good conversations.
My sex life is so fucking good right now.
Like I don't want to talk.
Can we just do another episode about how good my boyfriend fucks? I'm just kidding.
But I'm serious. Like I don't want to have like dull
my
conversations
boyfriend ate my pussy
about
like the Last Supper 2 nights ago, and it was the
my
best thing I ever had. I literally the next morning, I said to him, I was like,
have to do this to me.
I was like, if I knew you could eat pussy that good, like, whoa, I would have let you do that a lot more.
What do you mean you didn't? Like this is the first time you let him?
No, I mean, I like really surrendered to it. Like
You were holding back.
Well, I'm a fucking OCD clean freak. So like about my body, not about my so like I shower sometimes like twice a day. Like I've showered.
We
3 times
just
a
shared
day.
a hotel. Like I was showering like a crazy person.
Yeah, and so like I'm very adamant about like, you know, cleaning my girl. And so like so say we want to have some hot and sweaty crazy sex and I've, you know, just been at the computer for 6 hours or whatever. Like if I haven't immediately showered, I really don't like people eating my pussy. Yeah, I know we were talking about death and things, but like I had to kill part of the ego that was like, I don't know, you have to be perfectly showered. But anyways, I was because we showered together and then I was perfectly showered. So I let him just like go to town and it was great. I just felt like sharing that.
Thank you for sharing, Andrea. Thank you for sharing.
People are going to think I'm awesome.
I mean,
because
listen,
they need their pussies eaten a little more.
If you've made it this far into the episode, you deserve to hear this right now.
But really, it was the funniest thing ever. We were sitting in bed, as I said in the morning, and he just started laughing. Because, you know, obviously it made him feel good, but I was being dead truthful. I was like, damn, that was great. So,
yeah. Well, I'm sure it helps that we're off the vibrator.
yeah.
Are you still off the vibrator?
I cheated once.
You fucking...
I'm not a liar. What do you mean? I've been off the vibrator most of my life. You've never been off the vibrator.
I haven't
Look
been
at
on
me like
it
that.
my whole life. I said college.
I went a whole fucking year without that goddamn thing. I am often sober
I don't think
and
I'm,
non-vibrator.
I don't think I'm going back to the vibrator. I am so... Okay, I'm going to
Well, I had one bad
guys.
day, and I went to town with a vibrator because I was stressed out, and that's a form of release. And that is not a good excuse, but at least I'm not going to lie.
No, don't lie. I'm proud of you for being truthful.
So once, yes.
I'm not going to go back because I think that like what we were talking about is so true. The whole reason that I wanted to follow the advice of Monica and like you were telling me like you need to take a break from it because we wanted to feel more, like we were talking about like feeling more.
Well, I feel like in the past couple of years, you've never really experienced long periods of time without that.
Without the vibrator?
Yeah.
No,
that's why
use it whenever I want.
I wanted you to feel that because I truly have had like
breaks
a year. I went sober and celibate, like and celibate in the sense that obviously like I got a partner in that, but like I did a year no vibrator, and it was like so.
But
easy.
didn't you have like a glass piece then?
It's not a vibrator,
right?
No, like heavy clitoral stimulation.
Right.
Just heard me clapping over here.
Yeah, but it's amazing. Like when you take a break from that and you give your clit a break and like let it not be overstimulated by a vibrator,
it becomes a lot more
fucking
sensitive.
amazing. Like
And then
I'm
you
like,
can,
holy fucking
when you
shit.
get your pussy and you can, you know, come much faster, or when you're touched, like I can, when I don't use a vibrator for long periods of time, like the softest touch can make me orgasm.
Yeah.
As
So
to
I'm focusing
when-
on everything being very slow right now, like
Yeah.
eating slow, reading slow. Like I realized also that's another thing that
yeah, you're a fucking book.
I'm crazy.
Fucker.
I read fast. I eat
You
fast.
fuck up books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do.
no, I feel like
I used to fuck fast. Like I
know.
I would literally be like, okay, like,
So
let's
my
go.
boyfriend has like actually probably the first man ever that really like forced me to slow down a lot.
Yeah, Chris has been begging me for years to just like slow the fuck down.
It's like I feel like we make love every time
He's like, you can
we
go
fuck.
to a retreat with Monica any fucking time
So funny.
you want. Like, it has really changed so many things within
I can't
me.
wait for our retreat.
I can't wait for our retreat. You guys, there is going to be information very, very
Probably
soon
2
coming
weeks.
to you about our retreat. It will be on both of our websites.
It's probably gonna sell out pretty fuck fast. Oh my! I sold like 16.
But it will change your
to
life. And this is the
that.
kind of stuff. There will definitely be release work. Definitely be.
Holy shit! We already recorded for 30 minutes. We're proud of
It's
it.
time for lamb chops.
I think so.
We're gonna.
I think we need to like part 2 death with some more stuff at some point, and I think that healing the masculine has to come next call. I don't know how we went from death to pussy, but I guess Andrea could do that.
Yeah, because I said something. And
You just
then
got my
I said
head.
something about anything, and you were like,
I just had a vision of my
I
boyfriend
said,
eating my
I
pussy
want
this
good
weekend because it was
sex.
great.
I want good conversation. I
Oh,
want
and then
good.
I went on,
and you were like, oh my
yeah,
God, I, just
I
had
did.
the best fucking sex.
I really hope he does not listen to this. He's gonna be like, you air out. He doesn't care. Like I've asked him, like, do you care
Chris
if I talk
doesn't
about
care
you?
either.
Can I tell the world all the things? And he's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck.
It's such a turn on.
Like, he doesn't
It
care
was
if I
such a
tag
turn
him. He
on
doesn't
when
care
Chris
what I
like
post.
said to me, like, say whatever you want. Like he was just like, share it all.
He loves my post and shit too. Like I'll make a post of like I just made a post of basically everything we did all weekend and all of these
That's
photos.
great that you guys
And
have
he doesn't
that
give
so
a shit.
early
Like,
on, though.
I've dated people who have been like, I don't like my business public, or leave me out of your shit.
Yeah, but
I'm
I can
pie.
see why someone would feel like that, honestly. And I think that was another thing that died a while ago. But like my ego was telling me, like, if you post this or if you post that, like he's gonna feel this, he's gonna feel that.
That's the first conversation I had, like date 1 or 2. Like
Well, Chris and I have been dating since
No, I
before
know.
social media
I'm just
fucking
saying.
existed. So
I literally
mean,
said to him, I was like, hey, I'm going to take over the world,
Flintstones.
and like I'm going to be like ridiculously famous, and so like I need to know, like, do you have 2 big hands to like carry all of this? Because like what I'm doing here is not just for anyone. Like not just anyone can be my partner, and like I want to share things, and like I want to document our lives. Like the last guy that I dated hated my phone more than anything in the world. And I think that for a moment, I remember saying, like, I'm going to put my phone away from every other guy I ever date. And it's like, I love documenting moments. Like, yes,
Yeah,
I worked
too.
on presence for sure. But like, I'm never going to put my phone away because I love sharing things on Facebook. And like, this is what I do for a living, is like,
I
fucking share
find that
things.
even if I'm not posting something, I'm still documenting it. I've always loved taking
Yeah.
pictures and sharing
Same.
them, and
I'm not putting my phone away. What are you, my daddy?
same.
All right.
Same.
Daddy died. That was fucked up. Now I'm just getting real inappropriate.
Okay.
Okay.
So
All right, we'll talk about healing the masculine now that we're talking about daddy, because we'll probably mention the word daddy in the healing the masculine episode next week. So we love you. We're gonna go put lamb chops in our mouths, and
lamb chop lollipops.
I love you. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Witch's Realm. Don't forget to write us. You know the email better than me. What is it?
The Witch's Realm podcast at gmail.com. You can find us both on Instagram. You can find ways to work with us on our websites.
And join Intuitive Boss Babe community. And that's all we got for you today.
See you next Monday.
Bye, witches.
Bye.